Ministry, and welcome to another weekly video from SKM Online. We'll get into our Bible story in just a minute, but before we do, I've got to say, don't forget to sign up for VBS. That'll be the week of July 13th, Monday through Friday, and I wouldn't want you to miss out on that. It's going to be a hybrid VBS program, which means part of it will be virtual, which you watch from home each day in the morning, and part of it will be here at the church building in smaller groups of kids. So you have to be registered soon so that we can put you into a group and let you know what time your group will meet each day. So parents, you can register your kids simply by clicking on the link in the description of this video. It only takes about 1 minute to get that done. And of course, all elementary kids are invited to this program, and we would absolutely love to have you. So now let's go ahead and start getting into the Bible story portion of this video, the 2-minute tidbit coming up in just a bit. If you've been following along with us, you know that we've been making our way through the book of Acts, and we've been talking about our virtue of determination. And we're going to continue in the book of Acts next week, but today we're going to take a little break from that because we're introducing a brand new virtue. So our new virtue is faith. And that's a word you hear at church a lot, but might not totally understand. So we're going to spend a little time talking about that in the next few weeks. And we're defining faith as trusting in what you can't see because of what you can see. And we also have a memory verse, of course, to go along with that virtue. And that's going to be Hebrews 11:1, which says, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." So let's talk about faith. Of course, the best place to learn about faith is in the Bible. We can learn from people throughout history who chose to have faith. In fact, remember our memory verse? It was Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. Verse 2, the next verse, goes on to say, this is what the ancients were commended for. So we can learn about faith from some of these Old Testament stories. So let's put 2 minutes on the clock and let's talk about a few. Abraham was a great example in the Old Testament of faith. God told Abraham to move his family to a faraway land. And Abraham was already getting old, and he and Sarah didn't have any kids, but God told him that that was about to change. We can read about that in Genesis 12:1-3. The Lord had said to Abram, "Leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you I will curse. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." And God was planning to send his rescuer, Jesus, and Abraham trusted God and left home just like God told him. And you know, other people in Abraham's family would also go on to have great faith, like Isaac and Jacob and Joseph. And Moses is another example. God spoke to Moses from a burning bush, and Moses chose to stand with his own people against Pharaoh. He was brave and led the Israelites to freedom, even though he knew that it was very dangerous for him. David is another example. God promised David that he would be king, but he wasn't a king yet. And David spent years on the run away from King Saul, but still he chose to trust God. And of course, God kept his promise, and David became a great king. Now, none of the people from the Old Testament could see how God was going to save his people, but they chose to have faith and believe in his greater plan. And what's cool is that today we know that God always had a plan to send Jesus to be our Savior. The people mentioned in Hebrews and those mentioned in the Old Testament, they didn't see God's plan come true. In fact, in Hebrews 11:39-40, it says this, "These were all commended for their faith, yet none of them received what had been promised. God had planned something better for us so that only together with us would they be made perfect." You know, God had always had a plan to send a rescuer, and at just the right moment, he sent Jesus. And Jesus showed us what God is like, and he taught us to love God and others. And he was killed on a cross, and then God raised him back to life. And because of Jesus' death and resurrection, anyone who follows Jesus can live with him forever. Even though we might not be able to physically see him, we can all have faith in Jesus. So that does it for our video for this week. Thank you for being here with me today. Hope to see you next week as we continue to talk about faith, and also don't forget to sign up for VBS. Looking forward to seeing you all then.